Hello class, in this video I'll be showing you how to use the equation of a unit circle and a point that passes through the terminal side of theta to find the value of the 6 trigonometric functions. Let's begin. The point P on the circle x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared lies on the terminal side of an angle theta. Find the value of the 6 trigonometric functions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label this point P, and I'm going to place a point in the fourth quadrant and label that 5, -3. And then I'm going to draw an angle whose terminal side passes through that point. So how do we find the value of the 6 trigonometric functions of theta? Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find the radius of this circle. So to do that, we're going to use x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So 5 squared plus -3 squared is equal to r squared. And I'm going to simplify that now. R is equal to plus or minus the square root of 34. And since we're dealing with a radius, we don't want the negative measure, so the radius of the circle is the square root of 34. In this case, R does not equal 1, which means this circle is not a unit circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another circle inside. And then I'm going to place a point in red along the terminal side of theta. And this red circle is going to be the unit circle. And remember, the radius of the unit circle is equal to 1. And if I want to find the 6 trigonometric values, I'm going to need the coordinate on the unit circle that passes through the terminal side of theta. And how do I do that? Well, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to divide all 3 terms by r squared. So x divided by r squared plus y divided by r squared has to equal 1. So we know what x is in our problem. X is equal to 5. So we know that x is equal to 5. And we know that r is equal to the square root of 34. So I can build the ratio 5 divided by the square root of 34. And this will be the x-coordinate on the unit circle. So this coordinate here will be 5 divided by the square root of 34. Next, we have y is equal to the -3. We have a radius of the square root of 34. So I can build the coordinate -3 divided by the square root of 34. And this will be the y-coordinate on the unit circle. And now we are ready to find the value of the 6 trigonometric ratios. Starting with sine of theta. Sine theta is going to be the y-coordinate. So this will be negative 3 divided by the square root of 34, which is equal to negative 3 times the square root of 34 divided by 34. Cosine of theta is the x-coordinate. So that will be 5 divided by the square root of 34, which is equal to 5 times the square root of 34 divided by 34. Tangent of theta will equal the y-coordinate divided by the x-coordinate. And since the denominators will always be the same, all we need to do is divide the numerator of the y-coordinate by the numerator of the x-coordinate. So that'll be negative 3/5. And for the reciprocal rules, cosecant of theta is the negative square root of 34 divided by 3. Secant of theta is the square root of 34 divided by 5. And the cotangent of theta is negative 5 divided by 3. And there are the 6 trigonometric functions, their values for theta.